Hey friends, let's learn how to make a GIF. Okay, so, or GIF, whatever you call it. So number one, you want to, when you're out shooting, you want to be shooting on rapid fire and you want to shoot a very fast series of images. Think about like a movie, like if you were to flip them very quickly, they would create a movie. So click, 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 click. You want to make sure that your cropping is the same almost in every image. It can be slightly off. Preferably use a tripod or really steady your camera, but you don't want the background of the image to change too much. So keep that in mind. So once you have your photos in Lightroom, step number two is to edit the first one and then sync the rest. You can do this by pressing Command A, highlight, or clicking on the first image and then shift clicking on the last image and then syncing the edit in develop. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is you're going to export these. I right click on them, go to export. There's also a key command for that. I'm going to put them into a subfolder, into my projects folder on my desktop. And I'm going to name it GIF, and the file naming is going to be GIF too. And now here's the important part. It's going to be a JPEG. I don't recommend doing these with the TIFF file. They're just too large of a file. You want to use a smaller file. And now for the image sizing, I'm going to click on Resize to Fit, Long Edge, and 1080 pixels. Resolution 400 pixels per inch. Now, disclaimer, this is important. Do not leave this on to export your next set of images for your clients because they will be very tiny. This is something I did in college for a year. Oops, learn from my mistake. Moving on. So you're going to click export. They're going to go over to that folder. And now we're going to come over to Photoshop where, and I will show you from scratch, don't worry, where we're going to come up to File, down to Scripts. And remember, if I am going too fast for you, just stop and rewind. You're all good. Don't worry. I'm going to go down to Load Files into Stack. All right. So now we're here. It says Load Layers. We want to go over to Browse. We're going to go over to Desktop Projects where my GIF is. I'm going to press Command A, and I'm going to highlight all of those images. I'm going to click Open. So now we have all of our files. I'm going to click Attempt to automatically align source images. So this is going to kind of like make sure they're just a little bit aligned so they don't look super funky. I'm going to press OK. So now you can see that we have all of our images here. It may take a little bit to align our selected layers. So now that we have our images here, I want you guys to head up to, in a second when this is all finished, so I want you to head up to Window and then make sure your timeline is on. This is important. So now we have this timeline down here, but we don't have any of our layers over here. So what I'm going to do is go down to Create Frame Animation. I'm going to click on this. This is a button. And now you can see we have one frame, but we need more. We need all of these. So now I'm going to come over to this 4 bars over here. I can't see it. And I'm going to click on it and ask it to make frames from layers. Now we have all of these. Alrighty. So now I spend a little time and I kind of flip through here and just make sure that this is in order, things are right, and see what's happening. And I can see that these are actually reversed. So I'm going to click on those bars again, and I'm going to click on reverse frames. So now these are reversed to where they need to be, but as you can see, they're a little out of order. Photoshop will do this to you, and this is frustrating, but we're going to troubleshoot through it. The only way I know how. So I know this is my first image. I know that this image is supposed to go over here. It's so frustrating that Photoshop does this. I don't know why. And if anybody does, let me know. I'd love to learn. So now I have my first, my second is not my second. That is one of my last images. And you can refer back to your Lightroom to see the sequences of these images. Okay, now it's looking a little better here. Okie dokie. Okay, much better. So, cool. Let's press the play button and see what this looks like. It's really looking like a GIF. But for me, this is going way too fast. So I'm going to press the stop button. I'm going to click the first one and then press shift and click on the last one. That will select all of them. Now I'm going to come down to where it says 0 seconds and I'm going to do 2 seconds. You can also do custom, but let's see what that looks like. And that's looking really good to me. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to press stop. So now, as you can see, we have some pixel space here that is not ideal. This is slow and tedious, but I'm going to crop it. So I'm going to use my crop tool and I'm going to come down here and crop this bad boy until all of these pixels are gone. And I'm going to double click there. Still got some pixels, so cropping in even more. It's so frustrating, but you know, bear with me. Okay, so now this one only has a little bit of pixels over there, so that one's a little easier. Okay, we got a little bit of pixel here. Also, the key command for crop is C in Photoshop, just so you guys can be key command friendly and fast. So, cropping away. Okay, double click on that one. That one's good. That one needs a little cropping. As I said, this is really tedious. Okay. Oh, still needs some. So tedious. That one's good. That one's good. Oh, that one's good. Okay, let's press play and see what we have here. Okay. So much fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to save this bad boy. And this is the fun part. Okay, so let's save. So we're going to come up to File, and we're going to go down to Export, and we're going to go all the way down to Render Video. Okay, and so I'm going to name this, the name of this shoot was Wildflower Women, and there we go. I'm going to select my folder, and I'm going to put it into Projects, choose, perfect. And now I'm going to click on Render. So now I'm clicking open my projects. I'm going to click on my GIF and I'm going to press play. So much fun. I love this. You can put this straight on your social media. I tend to put it into my later account. And this is how I will post to social media. As you can see, it's right there already. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Please, please, please leave some comments and ask questions if you need to, and I will see you next time.